Good morning, class. I trust that you have all had an excellent extra long weekend with that snow day on Thursday. As you can probably assume, as I'm speaking to you through a video, is that I'm not in class today. Unfortunately, I am in an all-day meeting with the principal and vice principal and some other teachers about some professional development and learning about critical thinking and how we can improve your classroom experience. So I do apologize for being away today, but in trying to make up for it, we are going to do a short, quick lesson as well as an activity today through a video. I figure we don't need to waste yet another day. I know we've been doing that a lot lately with snow days and sports and trips and lots of things getting in the way of our classroom experience. So today I figured we will try and work around my absence. So, without further ado, we need to talk about this week's lesson and what you can expect in the coming days. So, for this week, we are going to be working on two main assignments. Those assignments are going to be first, a artist representation of a particular theme, character, or symbol, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about that later in this video, and that's going to be the activity we're working on today. We are also going to be doing a second essay outline. Now the first one is a practice. It's an attempt at doing an essay outline. We were supposed to review the outcomes of that activity today, but unfortunately I'm not here to do that with you. Instead, we will be working on that tomorrow when I return, as well as continuing to work on this artist activity. So you can be looking forward to that. If you have yet to complete the practice essay outline, including a complete thesis, please make sure that is completed for Wednesday. We do need to have them complete so that I can provide you with some useful feedback to show you how to improve on your final submission of your essay outline, which will be due at the beginning of next week. So you will have a little bit more time to work on that. So again, make sure you have your essay outline on the question you chose in class. Make sure that you have a thesis statement and it's all complete for Wednesday. That's tomorrow. All right. Now, Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to continue reviewing the essay outline as well as continuing to work on the artistic rendition of the character, theme, or symbol activity. By Friday, your artistic rendition is going to be due, and we are also going to start working on our new essay outline on Friday. Next week, we will be wrapping up our novel study with the submission of that essay outline, and then we will be starting our poetry unit. As you know, that poetry activity as well as our in-school field trip, the poetry workshop, is going to be happening very shortly. For those of you who have not brought in your permission forms and money, please make sure you have your permission form submitted for tomorrow. That's Wednesday again, so have it submitted for tomorrow along with the $5 that is due. That way we can make sure we have an awesome workshop experience, everybody can attend, and it's going to be an amazing time. So that's what this week and next week are going to start to look like. As for today you are going to be working on, again, the artistic rendition of a character, theme, or symbol from the novel that we've been reading. Throughout the course of this unit, we have been discussing how those things have evolved throughout the novel, how a character has changed over time from page 1 when we were first introduced to them all the way until the end, and that goes for the same as the theme with the themes and the symbols. Your activity today is going to require you to choose one of the characters or themes or symbols from the novel. You are not going to choose one of each, you're not going to have 3. It is one of either a character, a theme, or a symbol. You don't have to do a bunch of them, just one thing. So once you have that chosen, what you're going to try and do is represent that character, theme, or symbol through some sort of artistic rendition. And now that could be a drawing, a sketch, a painting, a sculpture, a video, a song of some sort. Really, the choice is completely up to you. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to capture the essence of that particular thing, that particular character, theme, or symbol in some sort of visual way. You want to make sure that you have fully thought about and discussed the evolution of that particular character, theme, or symbol throughout the novel, and find a way in which you can represent it visually in some sort of visual medium. That will allow you to demonstrate your learning of the character theme or symbol throughout the novel, to demonstrate to me how it's developed over time and how we can best understand its deeper layers of meaning. As we've learned about symbols in particular, we understand that a symbol does not just stand for one particular thing, but it does have multiple layers that we can understand it on. We can peel back those layers of the onion to really start to understand the symbol on a much more deep level. And our goal is to do that here through an artistic representation. Prove to me that you understand our character, theme, or symbol on multiple levels. That visual will also help communicate your understanding to your classmates and help us all understand the novel a little bit better. All right, so before you jump to doing anything today, let's just cover what this assignment entails. There are two main components to this assignment. The first is the artistic rendition. As you can see at the front of the class, there are some artist supplies that you are able to work with during this class. There are some pipe cleaners, some cups, some plates, some Play-Doh, all sorts of things that you can work with to create your artistic rendition of your particular character, theme, or symbol. You're also welcome to use any of the construction paper or white paper that's at the front of the class, and any of the markers or your own personal artist supplies, including pencil, crayons, sketchbooks, whatever it is that you are most comfortable working with, or that you think can best communicate the meaning that you were hoping for. The second part of this assignment is going to be an artist statement. Now, really what I mean by this is I want you to think about how does each of the colors, shapes, objects, the things that you have included within your sculpture, your painting, your drawing, your video, whatever it is that you've chosen to do, how do each of those things represent what it is that you're hoping for them to represent? How is it that they communicate meaning? Now, when we discussed symbols in the past, we were able to see that colors represented certain emotions or feelings, and that shapes represented a variety of different things. I'm going to give you an example about what I mean by this. I'll show you a picture of Macbeth, or a cover for the book Macbeth, that I think really demonstrates how an artist can render the emotions or feelings or actions of a particular character. And in this case, it's going to be Macbeth. So take a quick look at this image. So here you see an image of Macbeth. In particular, you see an image of the red hand on top of two black eyes and the words Macbeth underneath dripping in blood. Now, the first thing, if I were the artist and I was trying to represent the character of Macbeth through this image, that I would hope my audience or viewers would see is the red hand. It is the most bold and poignant image on this page. Now, the red hand, if I were the artist, I would say that this red hand represents Macbeth's guilt, and in particular, his bloodied hands. We know throughout the play that Shakespeare continued to reference bloodied hands when talking about Macbeth and Lady Macbeth in reference to the murders they have committed. We know that one of the famous lines is that the waters of Neptune's oceans could not wash the blood from their hands. Lady Macbeth continues to feel that guilt, that she sees the spot, damn spot. She can't get the blood to wash off her hands. Macbeth owns these murders. They are his doing, and he knows it. This red hand symbolizes his recognition or ownership of those murders. What's more important, though, is that that hand doubles as a representation of a crown. And I think this is really interesting because those murders were not just murders for fun. They were murders to ensure Macbeth's kingship. He did so to keep the people in order, to keep his secrets at bay, to make sure that no one found out that he was not the rightful king. So his murders were this red hand not only symbolizes the guilt that Macbeth sort of has for the murders that he committed, but also the fact that those murders were directly committed to ensure his kingship, to make sure that he remained at the throne of Scotland. If we were to continue to look further down the page, we can see these eyes. Now, the eyes are a very particular color, right? They're circled in black, in darkness. And we know that darkness is a theme that surrounded Macbeth. Every time he was thinking of an evil deed or an evil thought, which was, let's be honest, most of the play, Macbeth called upon the night, called upon darkness to hide his evil doings. It also references the devil, or really the evil things that he's been doing that has that connection to the devil. And we can see this through the color of the iris. He has a very bloodshot or red iris that really represents a connection with the devil. He can be seen as being directly connected to the devil through that red eye and through his connection with the witches, that supernatural power. The artistic techniques that are being used also help us to understand the character traits that we want to highlight within Macbeth. We see the hand and the eyeballs are very drawn in a way that doesn't. Shoot. We can also take a look at the angle of the eyebrows. The angle of the eyebrows don't indicate a passion or a love or a kindness. They clearly indicate anger and violence and a particular hatred that Macbeth may be carrying with him. Another thing that we want to take a look at when analyzing our own artistic work is artistic techniques. What techniques were used here, either literal or literary or artistic, if you are familiar with some of the painting techniques of many artists before you. In particular, we can look at this picture and see how what has been included and what has not been included. For this painting, we can see that the entire face has not been included. This is clearly not a portrait of Macbeth, but rather a representation of Macbeth. That hand, we come back to the hand, it's a use of synecdoche, which is the use of an item or object or a part of something to symbolize the whole. So we have that image of the hand. It could be anybody's hand, but we know it's Macbeth's hand, and that it represents the entirety of Macbeth, not just his whole face, not just his whole head, but his whole being. That his entirety of his emotion, his action throughout the play, his power that he holds, it is all represented through those 4 bloody fingers. And it really does a great job of representing who Macbeth is. We can also look at the painting techniques, in that the hands aren't clearly sketched out on the page. This is not a 5-year-old's drawing of a hand, but instead it looks more like a hand print, as if someone put a hand down on a crime scene where someone may have accidentally left a fingerprint, right? This is, again, a representation of crime scenes being those murder scenes, being that Macbeth is really guilty, that he is guilty of a crime. All of this is connected through the techniques that this artist has used. Lastly, a little cheesy, but you can throw in those little dripping blood splatters at the bottom of Macbeth's name and how they really indicate, again, the bloodshed that occurred at Macbeth's hands. This is what I'm expecting that you do, that you take the time to analyze your own artistic decisions and say, how does each decision that I made help to represent the character, theme, or symbol that I've chosen to artistically represent? How does the color choice that I've made, how does the artistic decisions that I've made about style, shape, image, appearance of that image, or again, sculpture, video, whatever it is that you decide to do, how is it that all of these decisions come together to help clearly represent the emotions, feelings, actions of an individual character, or the themes that this book may be trying to convey, or again, if there's a particular symbol that you're trying to break down? How does your image help us see all of the different layers that that particular symbol may represent? So this artist statement is a 1-page write-up where you will clearly explain to me how you came about your artistic representation and how it clearly helps to identify and distinguish the original. Okay, so now you know we need to do those 2 main things today, or really we're just going to be working on the first, which is creating that artistic representation of your particular character, theme, or symbol. The first thing that I want you to do today, before you grab any art supplies at all, before you go and pick anything up at the front, I want you to sit there and think about which character, theme, or symbol do I want to represent visually, which one do I think I could represent visually. And then I want you to take a minute to write down all of the particular elements or characteristics or features or layers of understanding that that character, theme, or symbol may hold that you are going to try and represent through your visual depiction. Then I want you to try and do a pencil and paper sketch. So sketch out, what is it that I'm going to create? Am I going to create a sculpture, or am I going to create an image, or how do I want this thing to look? And how do I make sure that it's conveying all of those main ideas that I've just written down? So take a second, pick your topic, then write down as many ideas as you can about what it is that that character, theme, or symbol may need to clearly represent the elements, the different layers of understanding, the deeper meaning that you would like to convey. Then start sketching out some ideas about how you're going to achieve that. Don't just jump to grabbing some popsicle sticks and pipe cleaners, but try and think about how am I going to represent those lists that I just created of elements. How am I going to stylistically achieve those things? Then once you have picked a topic, thought of as many ideas as you can, and then created a rough sketch or outline, stick figures, whatever you need to do to get your ideas down on paper, then you can go to the front, grab those art supplies and start building and start having as much fun as you want. Just before I close today though, a couple things I need you to remember. Please have your clear essay outline on the topic we were working on last week with a thesis statement and everything done for tomorrow. It absolutely must be done for tomorrow. That way I can give you some feedback and you can get 100% on your next essay outline. I also need you to remember, get those permission forms in for our slam poetry workshop. If you lost your permission form, there's more on the desk on your way out of the classroom, the one right beside the front door. Get those permission forms filled out. Get that $5 in. If you really plan on not showing up to that poetry workshop, please tell me in advance so I can invite other people to come. It's going to be an awesome opportunity, a great workshop, and I don't want the seats to be empty. So if you're not going to be there, tell me in advance why, and then I will invite someone else to come in your place. Okay? Good luck today. I will be in the building, so if you do really need me, I will be in and around. If you need to get in touch with me, if you have any questions, shoot me a message on the Google Classroom. I would be more than happy to try and answer your questions. I can't guarantee that I will be at my phone all day as I'm in some meetings, but I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can to answer any questions you have about today's activities or what's going to be happening this week. So please feel free to do that. Otherwise, have a wonderful class. Be really nice to whoever the supply teacher is in today. Thank you very much, whoever you are, for covering my class. I really do appreciate it. And good luck to everybody. Thanks. Have a good day.